Hi, this is Coach Nicole from Marathon Training Academy. I'm here to answer a question that we had sent into our Ask the Coach podcast with Coach Angie and I. We weren't able to get to the question at the time, so I thought I would address it here. The question pertains to older runners in marathon training. This is the question that we received. It's from a man named Herb. I am now 75 years old and I still run about 20 miles per week. I have run a few marathons and many half marathons, but not in a few years. What do you recommend for an old guy like me for getting back in marathon shape? Should I pay attention to my heart rate or my pace? My goal would be to run as best as I can in order to make a judgment as to whether or not I might be able to qualify for Boston. So what should my goal be? How long should I take to reach my goal and not injure myself? So congratulations for being a runner at age 75. I would put you in the category of Masters Plus runner. You are a lifelong runner and you're setting ambitious goals. You're ready to get out there and do it. So congratulations for that. I think that's awesome. As far as your base of running right now, you're running 20 miles per week. That's excellent. That's a good place to start. You didn't say how many miles you're doing for your long run. I would hope that if you're getting into a marathon training cycle, that your long run is somewhere between 6 and 8 miles on the weekend. If you're not quite there yet, I would just take a few more weeks to gradually increase that long run before you start a marathon training cycle. The golden rule with increasing mileage is the 10% rule, it's called. This means that your total mileage for the week, you don't want to increase it much more than about 10% per week. So if you're running 20 miles this week, you could safely increase your mileage to run 22 next week. That means those extra 2 miles, you could add 1 mile to your long run and split that other mile maybe on your shorter runs during the week, half mile in each. You asked about paying attention to your heart rate or to your pace. For most of your marathon training, I would suggest that you focus on your effort level and keep most of your running at an easy conversational pace. This means that if you happen to be with a friend running, you would be able to carry on a conversation without gasping for breath. It also means that when you finish an easy run, you should feel really good. You shouldn't be so depleted and fatigued that you wouldn't be able to keep going if you had to. You should think, wow, I could keep running for another mile or two. I feel good today. You don't want to be running all your runs hard. That's really important, especially as an older runner. Another thing to consider is incorporating some cross training into your marathon training plan. So you may run 3 to 5 days per week, and maybe 1 to 2 days of the week, you could be doing non-impact cross training. Some activities could include things like biking, or a rowing machine, or swimming is great. This will still increase your cardiovascular fitness without having all that impact on your joints, which could cause injury and really not help in your training. Strength training is really important during marathon training, especially as an older runner. You could even start out with just some core and stability training first to make sure that you have a good, solid core. This will help with your running. It'll support those running muscles. Core exercises include things like planks and glute bridges, and even push-ups are great for core training. Once you have a solid core and you've been working on your stability training, then you could work into some heavier weight training. If you're unsure how to do this, a lot of the local gyms have people that can help you there. You could even hire a personal trainer who could set up a plan for you. Look and see if there are some weaknesses in, your running muscles that they can help strengthen to make you a stronger and healthier runner. Now, as far as how long you should take to reach your goal and not injure yourself, you want to be on the conservative side here. You want to give yourself 5 to 6 months to plan for this marathon, train for this marathon well. You don't want to be ramping up your mileage too quickly. So this will allow you a good amount of time to prepare properly for the marathon. You want to be taking what's called cutback or step back weeks in your marathon training, which means you're going to decrease the overall mileage for the week, and especially in that long run, every 2 to 3 weeks. You want to do a little step back to allow some recovery before you increase and ramp up your mileage again. So going back to pace and pacing for your runs, like I said at the beginning, you should really not be too concerned about that. But if you do have a specific goal in mind, a specific time goal, especially a Boston qualifying time, at some point you're going to have to consider pace. If I was your coach, I would probably have you run in a local 5K or some kind of 5K race, that we would be able to get a better idea of what your potential is for a marathon race. So what you would do is, I would say early in the marathon training cycle, 6 to 8 weeks in even, you could sign up for a race, go out and run a 5K, nice strong 5K, race it, see what you come up with, see what your overall time is. Then we can take that time, and there's some really handy dandy calculators online that will predict your marathon time according to that 5K time. It's not a genie in a bottle. It can't tell you exactly that that's what you can do, but it's your potential. So if it looks like you may be close to that specific time goal, then we can set your pace, some of your pacing during your runs, to that marathon training pace, and we can work you towards that goal. Finally, I would suggest that if you have such a specific goal for your marathon, that you consider hiring a running coach. A running coach can look at your current fitness, your running experience, and look at your goals and develop a plan that's specifically written just for you. As an older runner, it can be very difficult to follow a generic training plan and modify that according to who you are. A coach can write a plan specifically for you, incorporating cross-training, strength training, everything that you would need to get to that starting line ready. They can help you if you have questions, if little injuries may come up. They can give you advice of what to do, and they can also help you with fueling on your runs, hydration, pacing, and develop a race plan for you for that specific day. They will be able to look at your times and make a realistic goal for you in the race itself. So if you have any questions about our coaching programs and what we have at Marathon Training Academy, please feel free to reach out to us. We're happy to help. And I wish you luck in your marathon training. I hope it goes great. Please let us know how it goes, and happy running.